go, like so. Well. Ayame might be a few minutes late. Guess I can get everything out of the way, couldn't I? A few things. Well, welcome everyone. Karmic transmission number 28 today. 28. Oh my goodness. This will be a lot of fun. We're going to have Ayame coming on here in just a few minutes. Her computer was giving her some issues, so she'll be joining us here shortly. Kari, one of our community impact agents, is going to be joining us as well. She should be on here shortly. Clint, however, will be out for the evening. He's got a little bit of an ear infection and is on his way to the doctor. So we wish him a speedy recovery is what we wish for him. So as for everything, though, guys, welcome. This is the Karmic Transmission. I'm your host, Jake Vanderlinden. Today, we're going to be just kind of talking about anything and everything that comes up, and usually in the end, how it always correlates back to karma and what we're trying to do to change the world, in short, you know. So as always, you can find us on karmaincarnate.com is where you're going to find our website. You can find us on social media, Facebook and YouTube. Karma Incarnate are those channels. We've got on Twitter, we're at the Karmic Feed. You can also find Ayame X Goddess, or at Ayame X Goddess is Ayame. She does a lot of our social media and handling and things like that. Always thankful for her doing those things for us. Let's think, what did I miss? Don't think I missed anything. As always, guys, if you're ever interested, you want to know how you can get involved and what you can do, reach out to any one of our agents and, you know, or anyone here at Karma, and we'd love to talk to you about how we, you know, buy food and get it to the food banks and feed people that need it. So from there, I'm really just kind of have to wait for these guys. It's kind of nuts. What an odd Monday. So let me see here. Well, guys, you know, I had a little bit of something hit me in the dome the other day, and I'll just kind of pontificate for a moment while I'm waiting for everyone to get in here. But it's funny. It took 26 karmic transmissions for me to finally realize that I had never actually really introduced myself and why I'm here and doing this and yeah, so it was kind of funny that I'm one of those people. I work a lot, and when you work a lot, you tend to just kind of dive right in and start doing the work. You know, we kind of came up with this idea of doing the karmic transmission, and we wanted it to be a way to help lend a voice to all of our agents and get to know people and all the different things that they have to do. And so I just jumped in and started doing it. Hosted the first one, the second one. Rex kind of broke me out in the third one. That's actually the only one that you're not going to see me in. But I just kind of leaned into the work side of things, and I forgot where we were, you know, where it all started from. So it's heavy. It's a lot to think about. Karma is such a cool thing because it gives everybody an opportunity, an easy opportunity to jump in and start playing the game. And I've always been a fan of games, oddly enough. My channel that I've always kind of wanted to build on the side is called Gaming Good Karma because, you know, games are that thing. It's along with feeding people, being together and entertaining and enjoying each other's company it's a big part of what we do. And this is weird. And the biggest game that we have is the one that we play every day. And it's the one where we go back and forth to our jobs. You know, for a lot of different people, it's a lot of different things. I kind of spend my day doing this. Believe it or not, I'm talking to people and trying to solve problems. Only at Karma, we've taken on one of the biggest problems there is. It's not about, you know, finding people a way to cut them a deal on software or, you know, get a system to work just the way that they want it to. Karma's a little bit different because we're taking that fundamental human need of eating, you know, that thing that hey, Kari, yeah, you jumped right. I had a few minutes and kind of went on a rant, so I apologize. But to kind of wrap this up, we've taken on one of the largest problems that there is, and it's such a thing. It takes so many people, you know, and I'm gesturing this way. You guys might see her this way, this way, this way, all around this way. But it takes people with incredible courage to want to jump in and literally take the challenge that is karma to put everyone else first a little bit, to say, you know what, I'm going to feed the world because if they're fed, I'm fed too. And it's literally that choice to kind of put, you know, it's that ultimate step to put others ahead of yourself, because it's such a basic need that we all have, and it's something that we can fulfill. And I've got somebody here with me, so I don't want to take up too much time here, but you know, it's an incredible opportunity that we all have to participate in something like karma, and to be able to spread and talk about it in any way, or try to engage with people in any way, is worth any amount of work that it takes to get it done. And that's why I jumped in and started with the work, to kind of come back around to where it all started from. Is I'm a worker, so workers are usually happiest when they're feeling productive, and this has definitely given me that opportunity. So anyway, it's been rough. Sorry, I got to close the door here really quick. How are you, Kari? Good to see you.
I'm good. I'm sorry I'm coming in late. I had some technical difficulties.
Oh, you're all right. It's everybody's kind of had some some troubles. I'm going to simplify her. Ayame's kind of having some issues with her computer, so she should be on here in just a minute. And then Clint's got an ear infection.
Oh,
so
no.
He's off to see the old doc to probably get an antibiotic and get his head feeling a little bit better. So I feel for him, you know.
Like, what is it with you guys and ear infections?
You know, oddly enough, it's not usually ear infections. Ears are kind of unique this go around. Sinus infections or something like that, sure. Ear infections, not very often.
No.
Because like I had that one last February before we kicked off the transmission and everything, and I hadn't had one. I think I had one when I was like 2, and I had never had one after that. So
Rex is next. Rex, just brace yourself, because
nah. Rex just, he surrounds himself with us, so it's just he keeps immune to it all, you know. Like a bullshit meter.
Where can I find one of those? Where can I buy one?
I don't know. I've never been able to find one myself. We just gotta, it's more like a barometer, you know.
Okay, all right.
Feel it, it's a pressure.
I like it.
So, but how are you tonight? How are things going on your end?
Things are good. Got some good walks in with Connor today, and another remote learning first grade day. We're down 6 days at my house, 7 days at his dad's house. We're on a countdown. It's but we got some wiggles out. We actually went to a playground, and he was able to play with some kids, and he was masked, and it was almost normal, and it was really cool. So it was a good day.
That's awesome. That's really cool. So I actually, when I ran to lunch today at work, I went into Yoshi's. They're not requiring people to wear masks if you're vaccinated and stuff like that and everything. So people were, and I just saw it going, wow, normalcy is kind of starting to come back. It's it's a great feeling, you know.
It is. I'm wondering whether or not they're going to start requiring people have their vaccination cards and show them, or whether, I mean, not just Yoshi's, but anywhere, or whether or not that kind of gets more into a society that we don't necessarily want to go to.
Yeah, that's one that I'm not a big fan of. The idea of carrying papers with you everywhere that you go doesn't really sound the best, you know.
A card, like your ID, though, not papers.
Well,
like as big as your ID.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but you know, people carry an ID if they haven't. Because here's the counter argument is you know, what people do need ID for a lot of things, but how often do you actually have to get it out and present it? It's usually only in select situations, right? The idea that any random person can start asking you for these things, that's the part where I start going, not a big fan of that.
It's slow. It's a very slippery slope.
You know,
you're right. No, you're right. It's just like, you know, I am concerned just because kids like Connor, they don't have a vaccination. Yes, HIPAA laws. Can't get a vaccination, and you know, people that have chosen not to, which is totally their call. I'm not debating that whatsoever. If they say they are and they're not, and then they're, you know, perhaps not being the most hygienic around my son, it's like, what risk I have to take, and it sucks.
Yeah, it's a really hard one. That's why I say we kind of have to start letting a little bit of some rationale come back into this. Everybody wants to try to make it so black and white, and unfortunately, life tends to live in a lot of gray areas. You know, it's kind of a hard one to say. So, hey there, my friend. How goes it? You're on mute though. I don't think she can hear me yet.
Oh, maybe.
I can hear you.
Okay, there we go. We're going to get a double feature of Ayame here.
Maybe.
My computer is not.
Hey.
You're hang on. I'm not sure what's going on here. You're signed in twice and you're muted twice.
My computer is not handling this well today.
Oh, okay.
I asked Jake to wait, but he said the show must go on. So
that's okay, because I was late too.
I'm a worker. I'm sorry. Yeah, it happens. Don't know what to tell you.
Weren't you just talking about gray areas and black and white? And,
I'm sure it was very illuminating.
No. But no, I'm glad to see you, my friend. I always love it when you're wearing your ears. It's always a good one.
I finally remembered today.
Yeah.
Partially because of the echo.
There is a bit, but I always have echo. Like I said, that all of these computer issues, and speaking of you know, all that other stuff, Kari, with the virus and everything else, all this has really made me do is go, you know what, we need to get the recording studio done. That way we're all in the same room and we can hang out together and not have to worry if one person's computer ain't working, because, you know.
Because mine never is.
Huh?
Because mine never is.
It's worked enough that we've got 28 of these things under our belt as of today. That's how much it's worked. So that's good enough, man. I don't think we can have a problem with that. But
congratulations, guys. That's amazing. Seriously.
Oh, hey, thank you for coming along for the ride, Kari. You know, it's only because of having people like you around us that we have an opportunity to do any of it. So it really is, we're blessed. We're very blessed individuals, just like the people that are watching from home, you know. We're very lucky that any of them find us entertaining in any facet enough to tune in more than once or twice a month.
That's true.
So don't look so serious now, Ayame, or did your computer?
I don't even know.
It looks like deep concentration. and frozen deep concentration.
And everybody freeze frame and laugh. Oh, well.
Well,
I
Jake, how are
think-
you doing? What else is going on with you?
Oh, not a whole lot. I'm just laughing because I really do now just I sit here and think about the recording studio right now because this is awesome. It's things are going good. Things are going good. It's been busy. We've been trying to I'm sorry. I'm loving this. This is awesome.
I'm glad that someone is having a good time with it.
Naomi, I love you so much. Like, just like,
Thank you.
You know, it's going to make even more sense, Ayame, when you actually get to see like the first 10 minutes where like I'm talking to myself really is what's going on. And oh yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I can see that. You know what?
there was a
Never
small
mind.
monologue.
What are you seeing?
No, nothing. Everything looks good.
What do I need to do here?
Everything looks good on my end. Oh, there we go. Finally.
So, but yeah, it just because this will be so much more fun again when we can sit down with each other and share a conversation in the same room and because for as neat as this all is and how technologically advanced as a society we seem to have gotten, case in point right here, it doesn't take much for all of it to start breaking down, and then you end up with 15 minutes of a bearded guy crying. It's the
Wait a minute.
transmission."
Did you have Rex on before I got here?
You're gonna have to go back and watch. I'm not telling you.
It was
I'm
like
not telling
7
you
minutes.
anything.
I caught the last like 3 minutes of it. It was like 7 minutes. I didn't know you were crying. I thought maybe you forgot your allergy pill.
Oh no, I wasn't. It was allergies.
Uh-huh.
All allergies. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Natty toe. Okay. No, as far as the recording studio go, that would be awesome. Just because you get a whole different feel when we're all in the same room together anyway.
Yeah.
A whole different energy. So that would be awesome.
It's true. Ayame's a real ham. You know, when you get her in person, it's just awesome.
Am I? Okay. This is news to me.
I always thought you were.
I mean, sure. Why not? I'll take that.
Between you and Rex, the comedy knows no bounds.
Oh well, I mean, I can't compete with Rex. I mean,
He's in a
you know,
category.
if you want to talk hams, Rex is the king ham.
It's true.
I may be the queen, but I'm still down here.
Does that make me like a bishop, or am I more like a rook?
Court jester?
There's not a jester on a chessboard, though.
Oh, God, I guess I'm playing chess wrong. Is that the one with the little black and white pieces?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. I guess
Hey, Connor, what's
I'm
going on,
good.
buddy?
Hi, Jake.
Hi,
Ayame.
Jake. Hi, Mommy. That's actually that is
He's correcting you on chess pieces.
Oh, what is it?
Not a jester. What is it?
in
Bishop, rook,
I think it's a
pawn. Okay, you could be a pawn, Jake.
Yeah, you're a pawn then.
Well, I am just kind of
Pawns
a
is the word for
pawn
video.
in the game of life. So,
fun.
Okay, you want to wave it to everybody watching?
Bye.
Hi. Hey, hit the road. Had a very serious conversation before it started. Do you want to say hi to the guys on Karma? No, I'm very busy, Mom.
oh,
No.
he's very well. Hey, you know what? I'm glad that he's got something to keep him busy. That's the important thing these days. Weren't we just talking about people need to, you know, they've got to do what they can to stay busy, and when you're not, you tend to kind of go a little nuts. So.
I think I have recently slipped down the nut slide a little bit. I think we're all kind of headed that direction anyway. So we're in good company.
Crazy is a lot of fun, is how I've always seen it. You know, lends to having odd, you know, things like cat ears or Hawaiian shirt collections or
Okay, so this is the gang up on Ayame
no, hey,
podcast now.
I've got them too. I'm included myself in this.
When was the last time you owned a Hawaiian shirt?
I didn't say that I wear them. I still have them. They're in a sack in like one of the storage rooms.
I mean, if we're
You think I just
talking
threw all those away?
talking about things that we happen to own that we don't use anymore, I've got that beat.
Well,
I like that the next show, maybe you need to have a cameo of like a shirt and like the bag of them. Because the next time I come over, I will be asking to see this collection of yours.
oh, I'll have to dig for it. It's
Yeah.
quite old.
What he means is he'll have to go out and buy
Right.
some.
Right. Have to go buy some. Right.
No, I can tell you that a few of them were lost in a flooding accident at my dad's house. I know that happened to a couple of them, but I still have a few. So
I think I've only got one left in my collection.
If I could backtrack us just like 2 minutes back, I feel like you have to be a little bit crazy to hang out with us overall, but also a little bit crazy to do what it is that we're doing.
I would have to agree. I would have to agree entirely. It's kind of like I said, we've taken on one of the oldest and largest challenges in the world. And you've probably got to be a little bit nuts to want to do something like that, you know?
People still don't believe me. You do what? Oh, sure. That's a great goal. No, not a goal. It's really happening.
Yeah, every month.
Without fail.
For 9 years now, right?
September, it'll be 9 years. So yeah, we're getting right there. Or will it be 10 this year?
I think it's 9 this year. Either way, it's closing in on a decade of buying people food, filling up food banks. That's not a tiny achievement.
No. And it takes courageous, crazy individuals like us that are willing to do it because, you know, that's most people would look at something like that and say, well, it's not exactly a good investment, but I would dare say it's the greatest investment that there could ever be made, you know, from a certain point of view, right?
From a certain point.
Hey,
of
Ame,
Yeah.
Well, and do
I
it.
can't think of exactly how it goes.
Not have it be just a charity, but do it as a business.
Well, that's the perspective right there. Is from a certain point of view, this is something that it should have been done forever ago. You know, it's something that it's one of those things that as soon as we started putting these ideas of economic growth into what we do, why didn't we just start taking care of problems? You know, and the dirty little secret when you look at anything under the hood, any kind of business, any kind of organization, there's always an economic engine behind it that has to drive the entire thing. And it's usually, you know, they've all got departments and teams, and you call it marketing, or, you know, at my job, I'm customer success, right? So you've got all of these things, but it's literally an engine that lets the economic side of that business work, right? And why not apply that to solving problems? Why does it only have to go into creating goods or bringing, you know, things and material items to a market? Why not just help spread what we have around? And that's one of the things that's really, like I said, it's from a different point of view. You've got to be willing to look at this and go, why not do it this way? Because the only way that it's been told to us is that we've got to let somebody else take it and do it for us. Why don't we do it ourselves? You know, that makes way more sense in my opinion. So
that's good advice just in general. I mean, at least for me, over the past, I would say, year, it's been amazing to see what you can accomplish when you decide to just do it yourself, like not wait for other people, not wait for assistance from anybody, but just to take the step and just start doing something. And the great thing about it is, you look at karma as an example. Once you take that step, you find out that you have a whole community of people who are already there who will step up to help you do that. But you do have to take that first step yourself, because as soon as you take that first step, that's when the change occurs.
Mhm.
I would also add to that and say, as a like smaller, less important step, because that first step is the most important, absolutely. I would also say being willing to be consistent in it, whatever that first step is for some reason, myself included, really hard for people to do. So having that community of people already doing it definitely helps along the way.
Oh yeah. Well, consistency is critical. I mean, you look at anything that changes your lifestyle, anything that changes your life is a lifestyle change, and every lifestyle change requires a commitment of some kind. You look at people, the easy examples, when you try to lose weight, it's not about dieting. It's about changing your lifestyle, changing your perspective on what you're doing, making better decisions. And it's not about doing it for a week. It's not about doing it for a month. It's about doing it consistently for the rest of your life. And that sounds difficult, but the consistency is what gets you there. And that's the same with everything that you do, that you do to try to change your life, because big changes aren't quick, and they're not easy, and they don't come like that.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right, and that consistency is the biggest part behind it all, and it's why a lot of those one-time, quick fix ideas never really do it for you, and they never really get you to where you want to go. I mean, we started, and it's a shame that Clint's not on here, because I was going to double check and see how he's doing, but we started doing him, Rex, and we did a karmic transmission 2 transmissions ago now, I think. Yeah, 2 transmissions ago, and we started our 30-day push-up challenge, which ends here on the 20th. So it'll be up here in a couple of days. But I'll fully admit it. I was straight up doing girl push-ups when I got started. Like, I could not do a push-up to save my life. It was sad. And now I'm back to normal. It's back to where it should be. And like you said, it takes that step, that action to want to change, and then the continuation, that constant, and we've said it a half a dozen times now, that consistency to want to keep going on with it. And the perspective that you've got to hang on to is seeing something change, physical things. And that's one of the things that's really weird, is physical things. It's a lot easier to see the change, literally in 30,
well,
I'm not
long term.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what you're doing, but it is easier to see, a physical change than any other kind of change, even in the long term.
Yeah, and that's the one that's so interesting about karma, is it's such, you can see how much food is going to the food bank every month. That's one of the things about all of the churches, the charities, like all of that stuff that's always laid claim to wanting to end hunger or help people. A lot of the hard parts is it's one of those things that it's so big, it's intangible. You can't really wrap your head around really what's going on. But with karma, literally you can see it every month. Here's what's happening, and it's getting bigger, and it's growing because of your involvement. You sign up and you get involved, and you can literally watch that pile grow. You can see more food going out to families, and it's that direct input, and it's that side of it, that having that connection, I think, is what makes people want to keep doing it. Seeing that impact and being able to know that they're a part of it, that's huge. And it's kind of why we did so much about the social media and wanting to just share, because it's powerful. It really is powerful to be able to see that and know this is what's going on. So
I really like the way that you compared it, AMA, to a weight goal, weight loss, whatever your goals may be, because I think that's a really tangible way for people watching that might not know karma. Everybody has, made some different decisions about their own physical self and can really get that, understand small changes to affect a larger change. But you have to know your why. My reason for karma, my reason for whatever goals that I have in life are not the same as either of yours. And I bet, aside from probably some friendly competition, your reason for the push-up challenge is not the same as Rex and Clint. So you have to have your own reason for doing it. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Yeah. Well, and keeping your eye on those personal goals are always going to be so important. Like you said, you can't, this is not something that you can do without a why. I mean, Rex always says, and he'll probably correct me slightly in the comments, but his thing is always, I was such a jerky kid that I need to, end hunger.
To get into heaven.
To get into heaven is what he says. And I mean, that's not the entirety of it, I'm sure, but it is a why, is trying to be a good person, or wanting to help people, or even if your goal is just to be your own business owner and make a lot of money, and any of that stuff works. I know my why is completely different from those guys, but it's still a good reason to get involved, and it's something that's kept me going on it for the last almost 9 years. So
well, and that connection it's what makes it so powerful, right? Is that so many different people can have their why, their connection to it be so unique, but at the same time they're shared, right? It's a shared experience of what we're trying to build towards, because we've got one of the most diverse groups of individuals doing karma. People from all different types of backgrounds and stories and lives. It's a really unique group. And the thing that's so incredible is that the one thing they all want to do is they want to end hunger and help people. And just like us, just like you guys said, their whys are as varied and as different as each one of ours. I mean, it's such a great thing that we can allow for all of that to happen, because each one of those makes us stronger as a group. And it's that support structure. It's knowing that you're not the only person in the fight, right? That really helps make it easier to, even though our whys might not be the same, but it still means it's worth doing, because this thing that we're doing supersedes all of that. It's even bigger than our personal why, and it's great that we can couple that together and use them in tandem to truly make an impact in the world. And that's why we call our people community impact agents. I mean, literally every month you guys make a physical impact in your community, feeding people and helping to eliminate hunger as a problem, and it's powerful. There's a lot of strength in that. To know that you're a part of a group doing it makes you proud. It lends you to want to stand up a little bit higher. That's the whole thing with the push-up challenge. Yeah, me, Rex, and Clint might be doing it for all different reasons, but knowing that I've got those two that I can kind of message and be like, hey, did you do your push-ups today? And it gives you that continued drive to want to keep going, because it's good to know that you're not out there all on your own, like I was at the beginning of the transmission.
Can I ask do you know how they're doing with the push-up challenge?
They're still doing it. I know they're doing it every day. So
okay, because this is the first I'm hearing about this, and I'm intrigued, shall we say. Like, I would kind of like to see any of you do a push-up, just one.
Well,
can you get on the floor and do one right now?
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to hold the camera and do it. Like, I'm not. See, I gave
you a perfect excuse to get down on the
Hey,
floor
hang
on
on,
your
let me-
knees and
let
just
me-
go.
I'll do a
and
push-up.
then-
Let me move the camera to my phone and I'll do a push-up. I swear
Oh.
it won't be me doing this. I swear it won't be this. Okay.
1, 2, 50,
Yeah,
60.
see? Done.
75.
Got it. Yes, I can do a push-up, Ayame. I know you might not think it, but I can.
Oh, well, let me see your biceps.
Ooh.
No.
Oh, oh, see. It's funny because, oh, there we go. Okay, see, now I believe you.
See, Connor's got bigger guns than I got.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Those are impressive.
I know. See, like I said,
It's funny though that you say that, because I've started kind of doing something similar. Like one of my coworkers started doing this thing where, one of my coworkers has an alarm on her phone that reminds her to drink water every hour. And obviously that's a good thing to do. So I started doing that too. And I drink a ton of water already, but it's good to stay hydrated. But then my other coworker started doing this thing where she was doing 10 squats every hour, or not squats, lunges. And so I've been doing that at work, and it's like, 8 sets of 10 throughout the day. I mean, and I mean, it's been, like it's like your push-up challenge. It's been, just something to do, and you get, you get that drive to do it, and it hurts for a while and you hate it, and then at the end of it you're like, oh, that was not so bad, maybe I'll keep doing it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I started getting some tennis elbow from it, so that was kind of, I didn't really expect that one, but no, it literally was, when I got started, it was like I did 2 push-ups and immediately I was like, okay, went straight to putting my knees on the floor, cranking them out really quick. But
you did them.
I did, and I committed to doing it, and the whole idea is, I'll have to think about where I want. It's been a busy weekend. Okay, like there's a lot of stuff that happened over this weekend, and things were just kind of going crazy. So it's all just kind
of
the
brain fog.
Yeah, I got the brain scramblies is what I've got. I got the double hypnosis.
Vandermead's over at your house. I just think it's interesting that of all the people in the world that you would wonder if could keep a commitment like that. I mean, I think you and Rex have proven, over the years that you can stick to a commitment. I mean, just you look back at the DDKs. I mean, that to me remains an insane commitment. I can't believe. Yeah, Rex has just asked Dr. Pepper.
No.
We should have bought stock when we were kids. We'd be jillionaires by now if we bought stock.
I bought stock in Dr. Pepper.
Good gravy. But no, it's it's funny because that commitment, that drive to want to be the person that when you set out to do something, you do it. It's hard. It really isn't. I mean, anybody can think of, just look at New Year's resolutions, right? That everybody makes the same resolution every New Year, and rare few follow through. I included, right?
Well, and that goes back to what we were saying before, is because a New Year's resolution is a short-term goal.
Bingo.
It's like you're saying, I'm going to do this, but you're not really committing to changing everything about your life. You're just like saying, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to, there's a deadline to it. And you're not really thinking about, okay, I'm making a long-term commitment here. I'm not, just by the nature of a New Year's resolution, it's not a long-term goal. It's like, okay, I'm going to start out this new year. I'm going to blast all this out of here. But you're not really thinking about the long term, at least in general. Obviously some people do, like you said, it's,
Yeah,
it's,
there are
some
goals.
people do follow through, and
Mhm.
it's a good starting point. I mean, we all need some kind of a starting point, and the new year is a great time to do it.
Absolutely.
It's easy to fall off that wagon. And, me personally, I would never try to start eating better at the end of a huge binge and
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Well, Halloween, if you get candy still, Halloween, and then Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's. It's like 15 feasts in a row
Sure.
if you've got a big family.
And that's just it. We're all eaters. We do the Karma Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So, and it's funny that you mention it about being lifestyle. And it's the one thing that we've always liked to do is feed people. So isn't it kind of funny that the business that we came up with and tried to move forward was a business about feeding people?
You play to your strengths. That's
Yeah,
if you're good at it.
It's just it's a rather odd scale to go from like, oh, hang out with family and friends to let's end hunger. It's kind of a jump, but makes sense. Like you said, you play to your strengths when you can. So, but it's a weird commitment, and that's the thing that's unique about all of those New Year's challenges and everything else is it's the commitment and the follow through that you want to have with it, and that's karma in a nutshell. Karma means action, but without continuation of that action, it's never really going to go very far.
That's one of the beauties of karma, like saying, just for example, on New Year's Eve, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds, I'm gonna go to the gym every day, I'm gonna drink all this water. Great, all of those things are great, but you also have to sit down and make a plan and itemize that. And a lot of people are not up for that. And when you become a karma agent or decide to become involved, that's just that legwork is done for you. Like just done. Like, oh, this is what we do. Okay, cool. Like, let's go. Amazing.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know if either of you two remember, but one of the earliest things for karma that one of the earliest ways that we talked about it was mentioning that it's not a hashtag fix.
Mm-hmm.
It's deliberately designed to be like a long-term commitment. But you're right. I mean, that's one of the great things about it is if all you want to do is buy food and help people, it's done for you. You don't have to do anything else, but you have so many other opportunities to take those extra steps and to get more involved. Kari, you've been to a bunch of the stickering events. I don't know if you ever got to go out to the food bank and actually see the people out there. And you can take it as far as you want to, or you can just stay at that first place. Either way, you're doing good and helping people.
It feels good. At any level, it feels good.
Rex is over there spamming the chat.
Oh, he would never do something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Nah. That's one thing that this whole it's been kind of different going over and delivering the food the last few months with the food bank. I was so used to seeing how they used to do it with the shelves and everything else, and then they kind of changed their MO with COVID and everything else. But the one thing that never changed was how grateful they were every time we brought in food to help them out. They adjusted and went with the times, and that's why ending hunger and doing these things really it's so important to be done at such a local level, because you can actually work with the people there to see what needs to go on, to see what needs to be brought, to see how it needs to be addressed, because each environment's completely different, unique. The needs of people here in Salt Lake are not the same as people in like
Florida, Las
Florida,
Vegas,
thank you.
California.
Well, I was going to say Florida, which is one of the things. We've got a video of us delivering food in Florida. You remember when we did the Jolly Green Giant while Rex was out of town, Ayame?
Oh, yes.
We've gone down to Vegas and we've delivered food to a food pantry down there in Vegas. And each one of those things is so different and so unique. But karma is the thing that it is. And because it can act so locally, we have the opportunity to go in and help in the way that we can. And we can curtail and do what we have to do to make sure those people get the help they need. And being, one of the next best thing to the commitment side of things and wanting to make sure that everything's happening all the time is making it efficient, is getting it so that it can happen in such a way that it doesn't take a lot for it to occur. And that's the other thing that karma, like you were saying, Naomi, if all you want to do is buy food and help people, that's exactly what karma's here to do. We're to buy food and help people. We're here to make it as simple and easy as we possibly can, and so if that's the case, why not be a part of it? If all of that legwork and everything gets done and it can be curtailed to the needs of the people in the community, sounds like the best investment you could ever make in all reality, because it's helping everyone and you can physically see your impact all the time. It's so unique in that way that it's really incredible, because and I'm not really sure where I was going to end up going with that one, other than it's I don't know. Sorry, I've literally got
He's
the
got
brain.
he's got the brain fog.
Yeah, it's rough today.
It's that residual. It's the residual COVID thing. My dad has been claiming that any of his slip ups of the memory is brain fog from COVID. So
yeah,
you just use that. You're like, oh yeah.
I never caught COVID though.
You don't need to tell people that part.
Well, I'll say it. I'm knocking on wood. I'm saying I'm lucky here. I don't. My heart goes out to. I know you had it, Ayame. My heart goes out to you. I know it wasn't. I'm tossing you all these softballs, and you're not. I know.
Not hitting any of them.
It's straight up wiffle ball here is what it is. Softball's too much. Just too much.
Yeah. I had my second COVID shot on Wednesday, actually.
Yeah, this last Wednesday, right?
Yeah, and I was only sick for 24 hours this time. The first time I was sick for about 3 days.
Yes.
But this time it was only 24 hours. It was good.
That's not bad. I'm glad that you made it through it. I'm glad that you got the shot, my friend. That's great. So
I'm so happy, because it feels like crossing the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like even though
really
you still have to wear masks in some places, it's just like it's finally done. And I don't know if you know this, Disneyland opened to out-of-town guests today.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So just FYI.
You don't say.
Is that my computer?
No, it's me.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to wear a mask unless you're outside. Well, no matter how.
Wait, don't.
Look up the Disney mask mandates. They recently.
Oh, in the park. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. If you're like out in the park walking around, but if you go into a line queue, you got to put it on, right?
Right.
I would wear a hazmat suit to go there at this point. I am so sick of being here. You have no idea.
That would be all of a sudden I'm having like an idea for a post-apocalyptic movie of people in hazmat suits playing at Disneyland. Like,
I feel like wasn't that an episode of American Dad?
No. They had the one where they turned Disneyland into the apocalyptic war zone because it's not Disneyland, it's Funland, right? Bob Funland. And he comes back and people are abusing his park, so he turns it into a war zone, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had like the Game of Thrones, like the walls.
Yeah. They had separate kingdoms with vying power struggles and stuff. It was a fun episode. But see, my whole idea is more like, even in radioactive hellscapes, people still go to Disneyland and have a good time.
I would. If we're Mad Maxing it, that's where I go. Because it's like why
totally.
not?
Mad Max meets Disneyland. It's like Thunderdome on steroids, is what it is. If only we could get what's her name? Who's the Tina Turner? She was the gal that announced the Thunderdome fights and stuff in the Mad Max movie.
Oh, I hate
That's the only
hate
way
to
that
say
it works, is you got to get Tina Turner back with the hair.
I hate to say it, but honestly, I've never seen any of those.
Oh man.
Like, okay, look, we've all got some of those we haven't seen. With Rex, it's Highlander. With me, it's the Mad Max series, and I really wanted to. Like, that new one looked awesome, Fury Road.
I haven't seen the new one. I didn't see Fury Road yet.
But yeah, one of these nights we'll do a Karma movie night. That's what we'll do.
We'll have and we'll watch all the Mad Maxes.
Mad Maxes, then
Fun.
we'll do all the Highlanders, all the James Bond movies.
I've never watched Dune. That's one that I've never really seen.
Dune seems kind of rough to me.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
I've heard
to
it's
do.
good, but I'd
rather watch Tremors.
Oh.
the first Tremors.
Well, yeah. Are there other Tremors movies?
There's like 15 Tremors movies. The second one.
No, there's only one.
Yeah,
there's only one that counts. Yeah, just the second one. It doesn't have Kevin Bacon in it. I can't remember the other guy's name, like his buddy.
Uh-huh.
What was his name?
I can't remember.
Anyway,
Picture him, but not his name.
yeah, he's the lead in the second one, and the guy who played Bert, the gun guy. And then in the third one on, it's just Bert. Like, he knew that was the only thing he was ever going to do, and he is in like all the other ones, as far as I know.
The sheer fact that Kevin Bacon isn't in any of the others tells you where that franchise ended.
Like,
Okay?
I'm out. No more.
Do you really need to look at Tremors and think, oh yeah, a sequel to that'll be good?
Exactly.
By the third movie, they were like flying. They turned into like little dinosaur things, and they were like flying around. It was horrible.
Did you watch just to see how bad it was? Or
To be perfect, I watched them when I was much, much younger, so I have a little bit of an excuse.
no judgment.
They were on sci-fi, like they were doing a marathon. The first one was on, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, I love it. And then the second one came on, and I'm like, this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen,
right.
But it's not great.
Well,
and then the third one, and that was the end of it for me. I'm like, no.
There, you're comfortable. It's like you kind of have to see how it ends. You got snacks, probably. Like, I get it. I'm with you.
Sometimes, yeah. Like we were talking about last week, I don't usually walk out of a movie, so
I have walked out of one.
It's hard.
What was it?
I walked out of Osmosis Jones.
I can see that.
Otherwise, I'll hang in. But I had a really, really rough time with that one.
That one, there's what was like. Can I ask what it was? Like, what was the thing that pushed you over the edge? Because I've seen it. When
the pimple burst and splattered on Boy Shannon's face.
Okay, I was kind of thinking it was going to be something, because that was I was out at that point. Like, I bet that actually would be really popular nowadays, because people are watching that Dr. Pimple Popper show or whatever. I hate to admit it, but the reason I was thinking of weight loss earlier is because I've been seeing a lot of clips on YouTube of my 600-pound life. So.
Oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not immune from the junk food TV.
It's hard, especially like you had a stressful day. Like sometimes you just find yourself watching something that's really Connor has been at his dad's for an hour some nights, and I'm like, why am I watching Paw Patrol still? Like what? But it like draws you in, and then
it's inane, just like things going on that you can zone out around.
It's visual junk food.
Right.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing as McDonald's, but for your brain.
Rex is talking about a movie I haven't seen. Number 20.
Oh, the number 2. Yeah, Jim Carrey. It's one of Jim Carrey's like earlier serious roles. It is.
Oh, funny people should not do serious roles. Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, no.
You know what? I kind of would like to see number 23 again, because I wonder if maybe at the time I was just expecting something different. Because I've heard a lot of people say it's good.
Yeah, no, I don't remember the number 23 good enough. That's the one I walked out of was the Butterfly Effect. That was
Oh God,
God.
that one is that one's
horrible
rough.
movie. And I would put that up there with like the number 23. They're like they're both just bad.
I would watch number 23 again before I would watch Butterfly
I'm gonna
Effect
have to
again.
see the number 23 because the only other one I watched the whole thing, but it was like 2 hours of my life I'll never get back, was Napoleon Dynamite.
Whoa, hey now, that's a fantastic movie.
No.
Napoleon Dynamite is great.
No. 2
Wait a
hours
minute.
of my life I'll never get back.
Have you seen Unicorn City?
I have not.
Oh, now
Hey,
there's a treat. If you didn't like Napoleon Dynamite, you might like Unicorn
it's
City.
an absolute cinematic masterpiece.
Just do not watch it around Rex, because A, you won't get to hear any of it, and B, he will explain to you in very, very like a lot of detail exactly how he would fix it. How long did that conversation go on? 2 hours?
Well, now that you've brought it up, it's gonna start happening again. Don't you? You realize what you've just done for my night, Ayame?
You're welcome.
You realize where this is gonna go now? Like,
Oh yes,
I'm
I
gonna
do.
walk out and there's gonna be a DVD case in hand, like ready to,
Okay.
Oh yes.
I have one for both of you though. Okay. Jesus Christ, Vampire Slayer.
Oh, I've seen like 2 minutes of that.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. I was pretty young, but it was bad. It was,
I'm gonna bring in one that's newer. It's the
he's already in there doing it.
no, that's not what it was. That's not what it was. It was not Rex. I will
Standing in the doorway with the DVD case.
hey,
No, the man who killed Hitler and Bigfoot.
Oh,
That one?
God.
Sam Elliott needs to shave his mustache after that one. He doesn't deserve having that chevron on his face anymore after that movie. That
say
was
the
bad.
title again. What is it called?
It's The Man Who Killed Hitler and Bigfoot. And found Bigfoot, something like that.
And then killed Bigfoot.
It's
the man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I think.
What? Why?
Okay, think about it. That title, amazing, right? Incredible title for a movie. The cover was like Sam Elliott walking in camo gear with this Bigfoot, like awesome cover art and stuff like that, right? The movie has like 3 minutes of Hitler and 4 minutes of Bigfoot. And then the rest of it's like him getting beat up by hipsters in town and stuff like that and having flashbacks. Just awful movie. Did not make any kind of sense.
Why did you stick it out?
I didn't.
Oh.
I had to watch
Rex
it in
did,
chunks.
though, didn't he?
Huh? Oh yeah,
Rex did.
Rex watched it all in one sitting. Like I watched a part and then like turned it on and watched another little bit and then like finished it a couple of days. Oh man. Because
I don't know why you'd go back and finish it.
It's like a train wreck. Eventually you want to kind of.
I mean, it's a train wreck over several days, maybe. I
wanted to have hope. It's Sam Elliott, man. You want to believe that these actors can save a movie. They can't.
No.
They really can't.
The last one I watched to the end because I knew they were gonna save it and I was gonna need to see the end so that I really understood. Was Napoleon Dynamite. Never again.
See, but Napoleon Dynamite is just, that one doesn't have like an anchored character. Like you don't. Again, the title, The Man Who Killed Hitler and Then Killed Bigfoot with Sam Elliott. Like,
let me throw this out there.
Sounds like a movie. Napoleon Dynamite. That doesn't sound like.
If you've been paying attention to horror movies over the last 10 years. You would know that you cannot trust a title or good cover art. It's not like it was in the 80s when you could look at the front of a VHS tape and go, oh, that's going to be good, or that's Chopping Mall and it's not going to be good. Nowadays, like graphic designers, that's all they do is just make really awesome cover art for movies that are absolutely terrible.
Mhm.
Well, you know, I'm not the biggest horror genre person.
Well, I'm just
so-
saying. Oh, and let me throw one more out there if I can remember the title. Open House on Netflix. That is one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life. It's about a guy. I think it's about a guy who, like, he murders people when they have an open house, like, because he uses it to get in. And then for the rest of the movie, he's just like, he's there sometimes and he's not there sometimes. It's bizarre, and it's like, and it's one of those movies where you're so disengaged from it that you keep going, why are you not checking this room? Why are you not turning the lights on? Why are you not getting a gun? Why are you not calling the police? You know, Alfred Hitchcock would not approve.
Uh-huh.
Not approved.
Because he was the one that, I believe he was the one that said, you know, you don't call the police in a horror movie because it's not interesting. It may have been, I don't remember. I think it was
He
him.
was a twisted individual, brilliant filmmaker, twisted guy.
Yeah. Well, I need to go back and do a little bit more. I'm not, other than watching some of his shows, I'm not crazy with I don't know a lot about Alfred Hitchcock the person, but I know that his methods for making movies was pretty intense. I mean, that gal in the birds, he like did some serious psychological damage on her in that movie. So he definitely pushed things really, really far to get what he wanted.
A lot of good filmmakers do.
They
and
do.
With
actors,
Stanley
performance.
Kubrick.
Mhm.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Shining was one that was supposedly pretty difficult, but I think that was maybe more Shelley Duvall than Kubrick. No, seriously, like, I'm a huge fan of The Shining, and that's one of those movies that apparently she was really difficult to work with on that set.
Interestingly, I was reading an article just this morning about this exact thing, about horror movies and what it takes to shoot them and get a reaction. And Stanley Kubrick required something like 121 takes of her being chased with an axe.
Yeah,
And it screwed her up.
I think it was that scene where I think it was the one where she's got the knife and she's coming around the corner and she's seeing like the lobby full of skeletons. I can't remember. I don't remember exactly. It's watch Room 237, by the way, before we're done, because that's a good movie.
237.
It's a documentary about The Shining. It's really good.
I'll have to check that out.
The Shining.
What?
Never actually seen The Shining.
Oh,
I'm kind of a scary movie wuss, as it turns out.
The Shining is a fantastic film. It scared the hell out of me when I was a kid, but
Yeah.
now I watch it like at least once a month. The
Really?
Shining. Oh yeah, it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it's got everything I like in a horror movie, and I'm a big horror movie fan, obviously. But I love Jack Nicholson. Shelley Duvall is great in it, even though apparently she was a nightmare to work with. Just everything about it is fantastic. It's one of the reasons why I like Tower of Terror so much, because I love that horrifying hotel aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
I never really connected The Shining and the Tower of Terror. I never really connected that part of it. It makes sense now that you mention it. I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Very cool. Well, guys, it's been a fun transmission. We're kind of getting to the end of it, though. I think this will be a good spot to wrap it up, is talking about the Shinnin, because we don't want to get sued.
I don't want to get sued.
Don't want to get sued. But as always, guys, thank you again for joining us. Kari, thank you so much for jumping online. Ayame, it's always a pleasure, my friend. Kari, any last words, thoughts, anything? I always try to give it to the guest before we take off.
Thank you guys for having me. And thank you guys for, Karma agents in general haven't been able to come out and participate like we like to. And I just appreciate you guys making sure it happens every month, regardless of if we can participate or not. It's a big deal. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys. Thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to even try this insane idea and being willing to stick with us through it all. that's something that's the most incredible about everybody that's involved all the way around, from you guys to the Steels to, you know, Colby and Alyssa and Clint and Nisha and just everyone. Taylor doing videos for us down in Vegas. It's truly an incredible thing that we have so many people that in our corner willing to do this crazy little idea with us. So we can't tell you how much we love and appreciate everyone. So, but as always, guys, that's it. 28 in the bag. Karmic transmission number 28. So I love you guys. For everybody listening from home, thanks again for joining in. We hope you had some fun. As always, you can find us at karmaincarnate.com. You can find us on Twitter at the Karmic Feed. You can find Ayame at AyameXGoddess. She handles a lot of our social media and stuff like that. So feel free to reach out to her anytime. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, Karma Incarnate. We've got, what am I missing, Ayame? What am I missing?
I mean, we're on Instagram.
Are we? Oh, what are we on Instagram?
Karma Incarnate.
We have an Instagram?
Yeah, we have
See,
an Instagram.
apparently I need to get an Instagram so that I know that we have Instagram. Like,
Sure. You knew that.
yeah, you know, let's we're on Instagram at Karma Incarnate. That's the other one that we got to add in now. Anyway,
I mean,
guys.
you don't have to. We're on social media. Follow us on social media. You'll be able to see all the events coming up when we can finally have them again. You'll be able to see, you know, Throwback Thursday DDKs. You'll be able to see pictures. You'll be able to see what we're doing and what the agents are doing. So follow us there. And maybe we'll post a Planet of the Apes marathon too. I don't know.
Ooh, good idea. All right, guys. Thank you again. Have a great night. Love you guys.
Guys, love you. Bye.